More than 500 patients with new coronavirus infections (Corona-19) in the United States. On November 8 local time, CNN quoted the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) and state and local health officials as saying, there are 512 people infected with Corona-19 in the United States. According to this report, 442 patients were identified by the U.S. healthcare system and tested for Corona-19 and found infected. This includes 19 deaths from Corona-19 infection. The remainder were 49 of the Americans who escaped from the epicenter of Corona-19, Wuhan, China, and 21 who were identified as infected by the Japanese cruise ship Diamond Princess and another U.S. cruise ship Grand Princess. Corona-19 patients also expanded to 33 states, including Washington, California, and New York, and Washington, D.C., the capital. The most hit area in the United States with Corona-19 was Western Washington, where at least 116 confirmed patients, 18 of whom died. In King County, Seattle, Washington, in particular, 17 out of 83 confirmed deaths, making up most of the state's confirmed deaths. In addition, 102 and 106 were confirmed in Western California and Eastern New York, respectively. So far, Corona-19 confirmers have occurred in Washington, D.C., and 33 states, and Washington, California, New York, Indiana, Florida, Kentucky, Maryland, Utah, and Oregon have declared state emergencies. Pennsylvania proclaimed disaster, and Austin, Texas, announced a local emergency. U.S. public health officials said the response to the spread of Corona-19 has shifted from inhibition to relaxation. We initially took a deterrent attitude to give people time to prepare for the situation, said Jerome Adams, Director of Public Health Services (PHSCC), who is responsible for public health and hygiene. "I'm doing it. This means we're helping the community understand that we'll see more patients," he said. "Unfortunately, more deaths will come in the future, but that doesn't mean we should panic." The White House reportedly is considering policies to prevent economic consequences, such as paid sick leave and emergency support for small and medium-sized businesses, due to the new coronavirus infection, Corona-19. The Washington Post quoted senior administration officials Tuesday as saying that the White House advisors are planning to provide President Trump with a list of policies to prevent the economic impact of Corona-19, including paid sick leave and SME emergency assistance. Focus will be on expanding paid sick leave benefits. The policy list for White House advisors is expected this afternoon when President Trump returns from Florida to Washington. The policy list includes tax deferrals for industries hit by Corona-19, including the travel industry. It also includes cash liquidity for SMEs through the authorities. According to the WP, the White House has been under pressure to curb falling stock prices and stabilize the economy that investors are worried about will be in recession. On the 9th, the stock market crashed, with the Dow falling 2,000 points. A senior advisor who asked for anonymity said funding to help areas affected by Corona-19 was also discussed. The White House National Economic Commission and the Treasury Department have been discussing countermeasures against economic damage caused by Corona-19 over the past 10 days. Earlier, the WP reported that White House officials are considering tax suspension for the airline, travel and cruise industries. U.S. stock market plunged on September 9 local time. New York stocks feared the spread of Wuhan Corona-19 in addition to fears of international oil prices plunging 30%. As the stock price plummeted, circuit breakers were triggered for the first time since 1997. The Dow Jones 30 Industrial Average slumped to a record 26,851.02, down by a whopping 2,013.76 points, 7.79% from the previous trading day. The Standard & Poor's 500 index slid 225.81 points, 7.60% to 2,746.56, while the tech-focused Nasdaq index closed at 7,950.68, down 624.94 points, 7.29%. The major indexes of the New York Stock Exchange plunged with the opening of 9:30 a.m. on the day and stopped trading in about 4 minutes. New York stocks will stop trading for 15 minutes if the Standard & Poor's 500 index falls 7%. NYSE resumed trading at 9:49 a.m. after a 15-minute suspension. Meanwhile, the signs of the global financial crisis are also becoming apparent in the global economy. Gold and bond prices are soaring every day due to the preference for safe assets, and money is losing from emerging markets. There are also concerns that sovereign wealth funds from Middle Eastern oil producers will expand the sale of emerging country stocks in order to prevent the nation's fiscal deterioration. Extreme cash efforts in the asset market will increase the risk of bankruptcy for companies, leading to worsening consumption and slowing growth.